We'll kick off the radio airtime momentarily. That going? I was looking at your playlist. I don't see what playlist. You'll start, and then I won't play that. So that, yeah, don't worry about that. Okay. But that's going to skip to you anyway. That right there would be 7. I wasn't sure. Sorry, I'm just still dealing with that. I just hit push to talk. We're rocking. So YouTubers are going to have to sit tight to get an early preview behind the scenes. I wonder, can you hear that? Turn your volume up, so if you'll hear.
Yeah, once that music's going.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see how it works out then. I wonder, does it pick up audio or does it pick up?
No, this is coming off of the YouTube video. Oh, it's picking up off of the
ambient. Okay.
But once you start talking loud, it's picking up.
Well, I'm just worried about the phone calling with Alan. Oh, you're looking at the live feed.
I am looking at the live feed. Yeah.
What's the YouTube channel look like? Just have our logo. For anybody out there listening, you can probably tell me it has our logo. We're about to kick this off. I got messages. Should be, boys and girls. Like that, and that's the way it is.
Got a delay.
Call in. You won't be able to hear it though.
I can hear it on live feed.
You guys out there watching the live feed, you will not hear the phone call. So if you're watching a live feed, and you want to hear Alan on our call in, you're going to have to go to either YouTube or go to Internet Radio, justforfunradio.com. He will be calling in momentarily. Anybody watching the YouTube right now, you see the beautiful, well-designed, Angry American Radio logo. YouTubers and the live feeders get to see the chaos where it actually is rolling.
Check.
On radio.
Hey, how you doing? This is Alan Lardery.
Hey, Alan, we got a commercial going right now, and then we're going to be kicking it off here, so bear with us.
Okay.
All right, we just transitioned our YouTube live feed. You guys are behind the scenery right now, seeing what's going on before we kick off the show. All right. Angry American Radio Show. Highway Jack with you. Tim Tenney sitting co-host. Go ahead and say hello, Mr. Tenney.
What's going on?
And ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully, Alan, I don't mess up your last name. I've said it right a few times and said it wrong more than that. Alan Ladiri is on the phone with us. Did we get it right, Alan?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Alan is an oath keeper, and I'm going to let him explain. I am an oath keeper as well, but I'm going to let him explain to you guys what that is, and I'll let him go ahead and tell you guys a little bit about himself, and then I'm going to put him on the spot and ask him a few questions. So right now we are on hold for call-ins, and again, for you guys watching the live feed, I'm giving you a heads up right now. If you want to hear Alan's comments and answer any questions that we have, you're going to have to go to the YouTube channel or to the internet radio, or you can tap that app. So, Alan, go ahead and just give us some 411 on you, my man.
All right. Name's Alan Lardery. Just like you said, I'm a veteran, former sergeant in armor, United States Army. Pretty active on the social media. I guess you would say a constitutionally oriented individual. Like yourself, I'm an oath keeper. Also have a local chapter here that I'm pretty active in. And just really scared the way the country's going. You know, just like everybody else, got some genuine concern here. And you only really have to watch the news for a very limited amount of time to see where that concern comes from. Quite a valid concern, I guess.
Well, first off, Alan, let me first say thank you so much for your service. And I want to start with that. And absolutely, we all thank you. The whole country thanks you for that. And I couldn't agree with you more about the state of the country. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, it's a wreck.
Oh, we got a little one in the background. Sounds like.
Oh yeah.
So I'm guessing that you have children then.
Oh yeah. I've got a few.
Oh boy, that was one of those answers.
Old boys and girls. Old boys and girls. Yeah.
I got a few. All right. Well, let me ask you. You did mention oath keepers, so let's start with that. Let's talk about what tell the audience out there what Oath Keepers is about. Can you give us a little bit of up to date on that? Where what that organization stands for?
Yeah, absolutely. The organization Oath Keepers was originally for current and former military and law enforcement, or those who took the oath. You know, they had a job that took the oath, like a governmental job or anything like that. And it sprang from all of the unconstitutional things that were going on during Katrina. The founder, Stuart Rhodes, Oath Keepers, seeing what was going on in Katrina and seeing what law enforcement was doing, some law enforcement and some military was doing, how they were, basically violating their oath. So, and if you're an oath keeper, if you belong to Oath Keepers, your oath stays with you for life.
Amen.
It stays with you. It doesn't come off. It doesn't leave when the uniform comes off. It doesn't go when you retire or do the job anymore. So that's what it was, a way to reaffirm your oath, to make sure that you adhere to your oath. And it's grown into a lot of different things. Like now you don't have to be former military or law enforcement. They have associate membership. And
well, I was just about to be the rude host and interrupt you on that and let the guests know, as you just did, because a lot of them are going, wait a minute, we know Highway didn't serve military. So what's going on with that? So that's what I've enjoyed about being an oath keeper. I kind of missed my calling, and that's a long story for another show. But with that being said, I do a lot of training with a lot of actually some active military and law enforcement, and Tim is one of my instructors as well. So that's lets the public get involved in oath keepers, and you don't have to be, I'm not trying to put a damper on any, and Alan, feel free to jump in. I'm not trying to put a damper on any of the militias out there, and we're going to discuss what that terminology really means. But you don't have to be a weekend warrior to be an oath keeper. So, Alan, I'm going to turn back over to you. I apologize for interrupting. I just want to interject that.
Right. No, you don't have to be a weekend warrior. Again, you don't have to be former military law enforcement, current and former military law enforcement either. Oath keepers are doing a lot of different things. Main thing is the CPT program, civilian preparedness teams, and it's a civilian. So, and this is, people always get bent around the whole what I call security aspects of it, which is the military side of it, of groups like this. And it's not really the biggest thing. The biggest thing is what the diversity of skill sets and backgrounds didn't, not only come from the military, but from other walks of life, like volunteer firemen, and the people in the medical field. And these teams are sort of arranged around a SF model where people have a primary.
Okay, now let me pause you. Remember, we got civilian listeners, so when you use acronyms, throw that out there and let them know what that is, so they'll have a better understanding of what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Which acronym did I use?
I believe, was it ASF? Because I'm kind of aware, but it was ASF, right?
I think you said
ASF, yeah, Special Forces.
Right.
Mainly the Green Beret. Green Beret is an unconventional warrior. Green Beret is a teacher of unconventional warfare and tactics, and they have a team. Each member has a primary skill. It'd be medical operations, weapons, medical. I'm sorry, I already said medical communications, and then you're cross-trained in another one as a secondary. Well, they kind of go off that model, but apply it to the CPT program, which the CPT program, again, is a civilian preparedness team.
Okay, so if a civilian wants to get involved with, because right now I can tell you there's a lot of listeners that are thinking weekend warrior. And Tim, my co-host, is, like I said, an instructor. He's also an EMT, so he's got some medical background. But
okay, yeah.
you mentioned other skill sets. So Tim and I actually met through some militia training, and I really kind of try to not use that terminology, Alan, because right away it's got a negative connotation to it. But that's descriptive. That's what it is. So if Johnny come lately decided that he wanted to become an oath keeper, would you welcome him in with open arms? Is that what you would do?
Well, yeah, absolutely, because everybody has something that they can add to it. People are always telling me, Alan, I'm not, military shape. I don't have a military background. I said, well, that's a small part of it. There's always something you can do. A thing that Stuart likes to say is you need to, mirror yourself. You need to take your skill set. It's almost kind of like the Padawan learner and the Jedi off of Star Wars. It's that sort of thing. An older guy takes a younger guy, teaches him a skill set. Like, in my particular group, we got some pilots. We got helicopter pilots. We got a Huey that we train off of.
I was just fixing to say, there's a lot of us that have seen your page that are going to go in jealous mode right now because you got a Huey that you train off of. And, I've broken bones and I don't have a problem jumping out of those kind of things. But there's a lot of guys that are going in real envy mode right now.
Well, they'll actually, and this is a neat thing, and I'm going to use this opportunity to throw it out there. We're having the training session here in West Virginia, Lincoln County, actually on our group's property with an organization or a group known as NITC, National Infantry Training Center. And we're going to be doing some air assault operations, with the instructors, these instructors who have, varying backgrounds in the military, some in special operations. And what they do is they take, and it's a really good learning experience. It's a 3-day course. You're going to be learning things like land nav. You're going to be doing a reaction to a ambush. You're going to be breaking contact. You're going to do communication skills. It's a really good, it's a basic infantry course, honestly, and it's really neat because everybody of pretty much any ability level can get involved with this. It's a real good train-to-trainer thing. So if you got a group and you want to get some very formal grounding with whoever your training person is. This would be a good class for them. Yeah, we're going to be burning some fuel with that thing this weekend.
Well, let me ask you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish. I thought you were finished there. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. No.
Well, we've got to kind of. I think the listeners have a little idea that Oath Keepers is a professionally run organization, and you've got professional members in there. Now, what about? And you can be candid and answer this calmly as well. But what do you think about all the hype in the media about militias in America?
Well, I did a piece on that. I trained. We don't consider the Oath Keepers necessarily a militia group because a militia group runs off of rank structure. They're kind of more set up like a military unit. Oath Keepers not so much so, but I've worked with a lot of militia groups, good ones, and I tell people, you got to really go, like you said, people do have that knee-jerk reaction when they hear the name or word militia because they have this CNN, 1990s version of it in their head, and that's clearly not the case. Not with none of the ones I work with. These guys are extremely they're a well-regulated group. They really monitor the individuals that come into their group because, of course, they have to. I have no problem with militias as long as they're good and legal and
right. And that's the key. They need to vet the people they bring in. Like I said, Tim, we met in a militia group, and that was one of the things that I don't know. Would you say the officers committee? I mean, as Alan mentioned, they do run off a rank structure, which I personally am not a big fan of when we're talking about civilians out there training. But they did take time to vet, and I mean, you kind of have to have a structure, and they're taking that. But at the same token, a lot of those guys are ex-military, and they're coming in. Some of these militias, not all, but as you probably know, you've dealt with enough of them. Some of them come in with their rank of service that they exited the military with. And if that's the format, if that's the basis that militia groups use. But unfortunately, we've touched, there's some good militias out there, but if somebody was going to get into a militia group, what would you tell them with your experience, what to look out for if they were interested in joining a militia group?
Well, here's what I always tell people to do. Be ever mindful of the people in the group. If you have a militia group, and this goes both ways, but if you have a militia group that's very out in the open, they have a website, they post some good things, they do, and a lot of them do community service.
Right.
They really do. There are militia groups to do that. They're out in the open. They are completely transparent. And when you go to look into,
we lose.
Those are good things. When they're doing that and they're vetting you, and there's a good vetting process, those are good things. If you're joining a militia that's extremely secretive, talks about illegal things, hey, that's a red flag.
Exactly.
Do not enter. Do not enter. You can tell somebody, are these criminals? I don't have a problem with people that, some people have bad past. Things happen. Humans are going to be human beings. But if you see a so-called militia group, I wouldn't really call them that, and it's populated with very shady individuals, basically criminals, you watch out for that. You're not going to have an open public militia out in the public that's going to be doing bad things, or they wouldn't be that way. They'd be more secretive. They'd be acting always in a constant shadowy or clandestine manner. You'll know. Your gut will tell you. But when they start vetting you and checking you out and everything, and if they got good relationships with their local law enforcement and they're running you by that, those are all really good things. Don't get frustrated by that because you would want to belong to a group like that. And all the ones that I work with, that they check you out. They want to know who you are, and they don't want you to poison their group because we all have to be ever mindful of everybody. Everybody is going to be an ambassador to that organization, and it only takes one, like we always say, that one bad apple, and here we are, we're poisoned. And that's something we have to be ever mindful. We have to have a public presence. I've told people, we're past the point of there's no need to be secret no more. We're not doing nothing illegal.
Yeah, you're already on the 72 or 172 red flag group. I mean, if you have a weapons permit, you're already there. So there's nothing to be secret about. I mean, the best thing is to be out in the open.
So, and that's the thing. If you're silent, if you're secretive, no one's going to know you exist. everybody has a voice. That's what I tell everybody. They say, Alan, you're a voice of this, a voice of that. I don't know, I'm no different, honestly, than anyone. I work a regular job. I do all that sort of thing. I just do a lot of videos and a lot of times they're in my car, and that's for a practical reason. I have to manage my time.
Hey, I can relate to that, man.
That is my version of time management.
Yeah, there you go. We're all angry Americans.
We're angry Americans, but guess what? We can't be silent.
Well, and here's the thing. A lot of people right away, because of the show being called Angry American, they think negative. And again, it's just first impression sometimes. But then people that realize that an angry American is a passionate American, you know, just like with you and the Oath Keepers and all the guys you hang out with, they are out there for a common cause, and it's a common good, right? So,
yeah, and if people are out and about and being seen and being a voice, people are always talking about, you got your impulsive types. You're always going to have that. You're going to have your hotheads, people that don't like to exercise any form of restraint or anything like that. They run off their emotions, and I mean, trust me, you probably see them and you hear them, and they're everywhere.
Well, let me ask you. I don't know, and just answer this if you want to. If you want to say you'd rather not disclose, then that's perfectly all right. But what state do you reside in?
West Virginia.
Okay, and constitutional carry, open carry. What is this?
Constitutional.
Constitutional carry, man. You guys are lucky. I mean, Georgia comes close. We have very good handgun laws or firearms laws, actually. So we're one of the fortunate states.
That's the point that I'm getting at. It was the point of us being vocal and being passionate about something, and that's what I'm trying to strive for everybody to do. Everybody wants to just get cans of food and hide it, and ammunition and hide it. And
right.
Notch.
I got 10,000 rounds of ammo. If it breaks out, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I got it.
I got it. I can't carry it, and I certainly can't exhaust it on one firefight. I'm going to fill my barrel. But yeah, the thing is we can't afford to be silent anymore. Again, this is not me saying everybody take a ride in the streets. No, what I'm saying is to be smart.
It's exactly what you're right, and it's what I call fighting a battle above the shoulders.
Yeah, you got to get involved. I tell you what, when people are together and they're for a voice and they have a clear point and they execute that clear point, you can't be denied. You don't have to fire a shot or pick up a gun or nothing like that. That's totally a last resort.
Well, and that's exactly. Thank you for saying that, because that's what America doesn't understand for guys like us. The last thing, because we are responsible, we are thinking above the shoulders. We're not doing the knee-jerk stuff that, just like you mentioned, the last thing we want to do is to have to pick up and defend our freedoms. That's the last thing we want to do, is go to arms to defend our freedom. We would rather do that vocally. And what we need to do is things like you're doing, and I commend you for doing them with your videos and your live feeds and stuff, is getting out there and letting people know that, hey, we need to stand up for our rights. I mean, yes, like you said, you've got a full-time job. I have a full-time job. Actually, I have several, but I still know that I have a responsibility as a patriotic American to voice my opinion and like-minded opinions like mine that will not speak up.
Well, what I try to convey to everybody is to be calm, to be reserved, to first and foremost find a group. You'll find most people that always say, "Let's start a war. Let's do this and let's do that." They don't train at all. They don't have a group that they train with as a group. And they have probably a very poor perception or idea of what combat is like. They don't know. They either have an over-imagined, romanticized version of a flag waving in the background while they're charging down the enemy, and they don't have a real grasp of reality of how bad it smells and how people smell on the inside.
Let me tell you something, Alan. I just went 6 days without air conditioning in my house, okay? I do not want to have to pick up arms and defend my right of freedom. It was bad enough just being without air conditioning. Forget being without electricity and the power grid going down, not being able to get food. Like, say, America doesn't realize, because the mainstream media doesn't put it out there. Look at Venezuela, for example. Look at the conditions those guys are in. A beautiful country, but yet they can't even go to the grocery store and get food. They have to have a number to get food, and by the time your number comes up, the food's probably gone.
Yeah, there's nothing there. So we are in a very, very, very pivotal moment right now in our country, and this is not just the election. This has been an absolute a pretty odd, I guess to use certain words, is a very unique scenario, election-wise, that we have here before us.
That would be an understatement.
Yeah, and no need to really dwell on that too much. I do it in enough videos, but we have to. You have to be ready. You have to do things, but I'm telling everybody, the best weapon you have is you being active and getting out there. And until you find that voice, you'll find the more you talk, the easier it is. People say you're all talk, you're all talk. But honestly, most of the people I examine, and every time I get one of these haters that says all you do is talk, you don't do no action, whatever. Well, I start going down a list and I ask them and I assess them. What are you doing? I'll ask them a bunch of specific questions, and they're doing nothing. They're sitting there getting ready, and these are the types that go out and possibly blow up buildings, and they do horrible things like that and kill innocent people because they've never grounded themselves. They've never actually started doing real work. People hate real work because real work, and what I mean by real work is you with a group, you training, you helping out your community. It's not very flashy. It's not very, visual. It's nothing that's going to make you look cool, but it's actually what you have to do if something does go wrong to actually be in a position to where you're not food for someone else.
Exactly.
And the people, I spend more of my time, honestly, fighting those that I actually consider kind of in my corner because they're always wanting to do something stupid. And doing something stupid is something I'm totally against. And I catch some fire for it, but, I don't know. Well, I guess I'll just watch my language, but I always say, hey, if I offend you, go rethink your life.
Well, let's say I got just a few seconds before commercial break, but
Sure.
Is it oathkeepers.com? Is that the website to look for?
.org. Yeah, oathkeepers.org.
Okay, .org. Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break here in just a few seconds. Alan, if you want to hang on the phone, welcome to do so. And I'd like to hear a couple of things just politically from you, and then we'll start taking calls and answer those if you want to hang around.
Sure, no problem.
All right, we got about 20 seconds before we go to commercial break. I encourage you guys, once we get Alan off the phone, you guys feel free to call in. Go ahead and leave us a message, whether it be on Facebook Live or YouTube, whatever works for you, and we will, try to make sure we get to as many of those as we can. Be right back after this commercial. Yeah, Alan, just bear with me here just a minute.
Sure.
Our YouTubers don't get to hear the commercial, so they don't worry the fact that we miss usually 5 seconds of the first one. We'll be back here in just a second. All right, we should be back on air. We got Alan. Now, tell me again. I just forgot how to say your last name. Help me out. Landeri, is that right? Landeri, I got that right. Okay, pat myself on the back. All right. So with Alan on the phone, we're going to go ahead and talk about just a few political things, get some ideas from him politically. I think I know where he stands, and I'm thinking he's not going to be a Hillary voter. That's just my guess.
Yeah, that's a fairly accurate guess, yes.
Well, we talked a little bit briefly before the show. I think I believe it was we were not I can't even get it out of my mouth. We were not on air yet, but we did say that the state of the United States politically is contested, to say the least. What are your thoughts about? Just open-minded, just shout it out right now. Let me hear what Alan thinks about the political state of the United States.
Well, I mean, if you're referring primarily to the election,
anything that you want to throw out there. I'm just curious. I want to just let you speak your mind for a few seconds and
okay.
without getting. Don't become the angry American. That's my job.
Well, politically in America, we have, it's compromised. And what I mean by compromise is there's several different facts. It's all about representation. Anything that separates the represented supposedly represented from those who are representing us is a problem. I'm talking lobbyists. I am talking political parties themselves, and that's what we have. Is we have a big problem with representation. We don't have very much accountability at all, particularly on the federal level. And again, it's from some of the reasons that I just stated. And looking to find a way, or exhausting every effort to try to reinforce that with those who are supposedly elected to represent us.
Well, we have some real
ahead.
idiots that have been elected by other idiots. That's the problem. And
Yes.
I apologize to all those idiots out there for not being educated. When you sit back and you just watch TV and really don't pay attention to what's going around, it's kind of like, connecting the dots or pickup sticks or something. You got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. You can't take just what you see off TV. I mean, we're realistically way above 50% unemployed right now. And they want to bring in, these refugees. What do you think about that?
Well, the refugees, I have several issues with. One, we go down the vetting, right? Individual militia groups vetting. I guarantee you, their vetting process is more thorough than the ones that the federal government is using. I don't.
Wait a minute. Are you saying the federal government uses a vetting system? Because I haven't really.
If there is one, it's a very, very probably more than likely ineffective one, and it surely is probably expedited because these are political moves. These are politically motivated. Look how what's the word they like to use? Pluralism kind of thing going on right now. We're trying to out PC everybody else around us. So we have this. Well, we don't, but the federal government has this globalizing.
All right, you brought up my most hated acronym, politically correct, PC. All right.
Yes.
Donald Trump is far from being PC. Would you say he is too far from being PC, just enough, or maybe not enough?
Well, here's the thing with Donald Trump. Again, I'll always say this. I don't believe in anybody being a political savior. What I see in Donald Trump is a possible sham, even if it is a complete sham, or even if it is a complete, ruse. The thing is you see such an unconventional individual shaking up convention. And that's fine with me, because all the people that are extremely angry at him right now are people that I effing hate anyway. So it's wonderful in that, but it's more complex. Why would I support Trump? Like I said, it's not because I think that he has all the answers. Here's the thing that he ain't doing. He's not really giving a whole lot of answers right now. He got a lot of support initially from, just his shock value and everything. So, I would hope that now we start to see more policy laid out, which he's doing. He went on an economic thing there yesterday in Detroit, I believe, and that's good.
He did, and Tim and I were talking about this a little bit back and forth, but when he went to North Carolina, all he did to me was ramble on the same stuff and rhetoric of Hillary this, Hillary that, but he did not touch on economics. And when you do that in Detroit and you don't do that in, say, North Carolina, which is a state that he needs to win, he's missing out, because the people there, they didn't hear him in Detroit. Most of those people were at work, because his voters are the working class.
Well, what he did was, I believe, when he was in North Carolina, he hit on a Second Amendment button.
He did that. You're correct there, yes.
And a lot of rhetoric, and that's, if you look at it from a tactical aspect, that probably might not have been an awful move. But because it's wins and losses for candidates is on the Second Amendment issue. But he never outlined any policy. He just said that, which the obvious is, of course, the next president could pick at least 3 of the next Supreme Court justices. And right now, the swing vote.
I thought five justices was on the table. Is it just 3?
It could have been. Well, 3 is a low. I like to lowball everything. But it could be up to 5, and there you go, right? And if you have somebody who is
if you get one liberal, it's already a problem.
Or even more, say progressive.
Yeah.
Perhaps some people think there's not much distinction, but there is. It's just one is a more severe variant of the other. And that's what she's claiming to be. Every time she uses the word progressive, I cringe now.
Well, I don't know if on my live feeds, or anytime I talk about Hillary flip-flop Clinton, that's my acronym for her. Is the definition is exactly as what she is. She has done everything. 1 minute to the next, just flip flop back and forth depending on what the day is. You know, she is not consistent. And one thing I will say, and Tim, you and I were talking about this, you can go back 20 years, and what does Trump say 20 years ago on Oprah? Its biggest interview back then, the same thing he says today. You probably couldn't find one interview of Hillary anywhere in the world where she said the same thing twice.
No, and Trump has been consistent. He has.
Well, Hillary doesn't
But,
remember. She doesn't remember what she said because she lied. And when you lie all the time, you know that's a hard pocket to keep up with. You know, I mean, it's just it's out there and out there. But
I was on the national news a couple times here recently over Hillary Clinton coming here to West Virginia. She came right here in my area, and you know we protest against her. Thing ended up on the news because I'm a coal miner. She directly said that she was going to put every coal miner and every coal mine operation out of business.
But then
More
what did
so
she
than
come?
now.
What did she come back and do after that hung her out? She flip flopped and went the other way and tried to turn and we're going to find out a way to make coal a clean burning fuel and keep you guys employed. So there again, just you know, the only thing more lies.
Oh, it's. I mean, you just wish America would kind of wake up a little bit more and recognize it for what it is. I mean, her illegal activities alone should discredit her altogether. It's insane, and just to see this woman.
We talked about it on the last show. I mean, Hillary's got the mob beat because you know the mob at least had the law against them. Hillary doesn't even have the law against her.
Oh dear God, man! Come on, man! This woman's family, they've killed more people than smallpox. I mean, it's enough is enough.
But you're just a conspiracy theorist, Alan. That's all. You're like Tim and I. We're just conspiracy theorists. The facts.
No. If you watch me in any capacity, you will find very quickly that I am not big into conspiracies.
No, I was being very facetious.
Yeah.
You obviously are not watching the YouTube because I was being very facetious. You are factual, and that's what we dig into is.
And it's great to do that way. You know, I tell people, you know, do not exhaust too much effort in the conspiracies because here's the thing. Somebody says, well, all right, we got this scenario going on around the election. The they're going to declare martial law. And I'm sitting here listening to these individuals going about it. They say, Alan, what do you believe on this? I said, well, it doesn't matter what I believe on it. And then I said, what you should be doing, what you should be doing, so sitting here talking about this, to deter that or to be able to survive that, ain't going to be done right here talking about this conspiracy. It's not.
Oh, absolutely.
If you believe it or if you don't, your actions should still be the same. You should be, you know, prepare for the worst and hope for the best. Always.
Well, Alan, I know you have like a gazillion Facebook fans and followers and all, but is your page full up to where nobody can find you now? I mean, I know you've got, like I said, a gazillion people that are listening or interested in hooking up onto your Facebook. Is that still a possibility, or are you one of those blocked out now?
No. As far as friending, I'm pretty full on. But the thing is I've opened my page up, and when I mean open up, I open it up. Anybody can go say whatever the hell they want, you know, because they can say if they want about me. And I don't delete anything unless it's somebody threatening somebody else.
Right.
Like that.
Well, the reason I put that out there is because you do the live feeds from your car, and you can see the coal in your eyes. And the passion in your heart. And, you know, we're going to, like I said, appreciate you calling in, and we're going to see if I've had some guys message. I don't know if they're going to call in now or not. Oh, yep, there's one calling now. But again, I want to thank you for coming on the show and hopefully helping open the eyes to the American people out there to militias and the political aspect of what's going on out there. And God bless you guys for having constitutional carry. I'm jealous, I got to say.
Yeah, we're not done. We got a lot more stuff to do.
All right.
Anybody?
Go right ahead. Finish up what you were saying there.
I'll just say, as far back to the Facebook thing, anybody can follow my page. I got it set up where they can just follow, and it pretty much does the same thing as being a friend on there. My page, there's a lot of, be advised, there's a lot of fake accounts with my pictures and face and name and stuff, but if it's got 30-some thousand followers, it's me.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to find you guys. I encourage you to go on. Alan has got some really good live feed videos out there. He's kind of like me, or I'm kind of like him, or we're just Americans. Go check him out. Alan, thanks again for calling in. I'm going to take a couple of calls, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, man. Thanks.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice evening.
Hey, see ya.
Hello, you're on the air with the Angry American Highway Jack.
Highway Jack, this is Bob. How are you?
Bob, how are you doing, sir?
Are we a commercial or are we live?
We are live for a few minutes. So you had a lot. You said you wanted to get off your chest, and I don't know if you want to talk about
actually,
the PTSD or I'll let you roll with it.
Yeah, that is one thing I wanted to talk about. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I want to make everybody aware that is not necessarily combat related. However, that is what is publicized. However,
no, I saw a media reporter get it from shooting a AR-15. Man, what are you talking about? I was being sarcastic, Bob.
I know. I know.
Work with me here, Bob. Work with me.
I have not been abducted or probed. I'm interested in getting involved with as a retired veteran. Interested in getting involved with other vets that are post-traumatic stress disorder sufferers, and I'm pursuing that, and I encourage everybody else to do that. That is the main thing I wanted to talk about. However,
well,
I do want to throw.
I know that you had mentioned that you were looking to help, veterans and folks out there with PTSD, and we had talked a little bit. Tim and I are actually looking into starting an organization. We haven't got we do have some ideas on it, guys and gals. We have not got it completely orchestrated as of yet. But Bob may be ahead of the game on it, and I know he's posted on Facebook several times, as well as others. I mean, Military Mike that's on the morning show here, and that does Word According to Mike on Monday nights. He's mentioned that, and most veterans out there are willing to help other veterans. So, I don't know how are you wanting them to get in touch with you? Is this a Facebook communication thing, or?
Well, that's the Brotherhood. I have no qualms with giving out my phone number or my
be
email
careful.
address. Well, I'm old enough to realize what the hell's going on. Facebook page would be great. Military Mike, to listen to him a little bit.
Military Mike's a nutcase. He's a good kind of nutcase, though. Mike, if you're listening, man, be careful. Be nice to me.
Scotty's not far behind, I think.
No, the whole morning crew's crazy. I mean, to be on a morning crew, you've got to be crazy. I mean,
yeah.
I'm really surprised that my co-host has been so. I don't know if he had a hard day at work or what, but he's been a little complacent over there.
Yeah, I see that. I've actually got you on the video feed on the laptop, but
well, so I guess I can go ahead and tell the folks to look you up on. You're on the Angry American page, and Bob, your last name, say it properly for me.
Bob Sturman, Sturman.
Okay, Bob Sturman. I'm terrible with names. I've already apologized to Alan like half a dozen times for saying his name wrong.
That's fine. I normally either have a patriotic picture or a picture of a Siberian Husky on my Facebook page. But I believe I'm the only one. There is one other Robert Sturman who was a pedophile that's been locked up for many years. So
well, that's a good cross reference to have. At least you're not the pedophile.
Yeah,
I'm the Bob Sturman that's not the pedophile. Just look for me on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm the one that's not claiming to be 13 years old.
Robert Sturman, Bob Sturman, Alaskan Siberian Husky on my page, my picture, or some kind of patriotic. I'm the only one out there that I know of. And I just want to leave you with a couple of words.
All right, go right ahead, because we're getting shorter on time, but go ahead.
Right. Americans wearing hijabs at the Olympics, bashing their home country.
Did you see my live? Did you see my live feed on that one?
Dude, man.
Oh my gosh, I was losing my mind on that. But
I lost the feeling chewing my jaws. I think I popped the filling out of one of my teeth because I was so pissed off.
Oh, that was the whole thing is just ridiculous. she got her 15 minutes of fame. She was, one of the first to be kicked out of to get kicked off and booted out in competition. I think.
I haven't got to see it yet.
Yeah, I believe she was one of the first Americans to get kicked out. And I don't know what other terminology you use other than kicked out. But
right, eliminated.
What I've got to say in retaliation to that is how pathetic it is that Jenny Thrasher goes out and wins America's first gold medal, and nobody wants to give her, high fives or accolades or anything. And she did it with a finesse that, unless you're into competition shooting, whether it's airsoft, real lead, BBs, or whatever, she went out and won this thing, hands down. First gold medal for America, and unfortunately not getting the press. And I believe could put the article up. I think she's 18 or 19 years old. She's young, and out there doing the first gold medal, and they want to give credit to somebody for wearing a towel on their head. I just that might have been the wrong terminology, but I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know it would be good. Probably got some other callers in. I want to go ahead and watch the feed and continue listening to your comments.
We've got several things to touch on, and Tim's over there chomping at a bit. He's got some things he really wants to let air out. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Tim here. And Bob, thanks for calling in, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again soon.
If that $10,000 for that Harley is still firm?
It is very firm.
Oh, dude.
Like 2 100 milligram Viagras or something. I don't know.
Okay, I'll PM you later.
All right, buddy. Take care. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks. You bet.
All right, Tim. I know, have been patiently waiting because you got some stuff that you really want to go with.
You can't get nothing in edgewise around here with you, and you get Bob, Alan. Hey, I'm just going to sit over here and be quiet.
It's shoot your gun or shoot your mouth, and I happen to be good at both of them.
I have both.
But I'm good at both of them.
I have both with me, so.
Do you think I don't? Do you really think I don't?
Oh,
the only place to go without a gun is nowhere.
There you go.
Carry everywhere. Hashtag carry everywhere, guys and gals. If you're out there carrying your pistol with you, your firearm legally carrying, and you're out in a place of business, please hashtag with a picture on Instagram, hashtag carry everywhere. And let the rest of the world know, as I do, and many others, thousands of other people, that you can carry everywhere as long as it's legal to do so. Go ahead, Tim. You got some stuff to burn up. I know.
What? But no, you wanted me to pull this stuff about these reporters. I did that. So go ahead. Go ahead. Wear it out. Wear it out. You had somewhere you were going with this one. Go ahead. I've got some. Here we go.
Hello, you're on there with Highway Jack and Angry American. What can we do for you?
Highway Jack, this is Bob. One place you cannot legally carry is court, and I found that out today.
Bob, I mentioned legally carry. I said legally carry.
Well, okay, yeah, absolutely right.
Come on now.
I had forgotten that I had it strapped to my ankle.
Oh my gosh, that's a big. That's a bad mistake.
Well,
but I'm gonna go ahead and finish because I'm gonna tell you one more thing on that.
I left my concealed carry in the car. I took that off and put it in the car, but forgot my secondary.
Well, a lot of people don't know that one is none and two is one, and that's what we're talking about when we talk about secondary.
Right.
I can beat you on that though, Bob. I've got you beat. You carried in the courthouse. Shame on you. I made the mistake. Tim, did I tell you where I carried?
No.
I made the mistake of one time going and visiting somebody in minimum security at Atlanta Penitentiary.
Oops.
Right.
And I didn't have it on me, but it was in the vehicle. Thank God it was minimum security, and it was a mistake that I will never make again.
At the federal prison?
Atlanta, yeah. I was able to leave. Everything worked out okay, thank God. But
I was pretty much literally street clerk, or I had to go into the courtroom. So my bad.
Yeah, I would say so. That's a good way to not make it out of the courtroom.
Yeah, but I'll let you go, dude, and let me watch this feed again.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling.
All right, ciao.
Yeah, we did a lot of work down at the federal pen, and I carried mine every day. It stayed in the car every day, and I parked right outside the gate. So and they never said a word.
It's a bad feeling though. That's one thing about it. Now, and bear in mind that was literally probably 19. Actually, I can tell you the year because I remember when the guy made the mistake. 1989.
I can tell you mine was this year.
Oh. All right. We've got we're commercial. We're gonna turn this over to commercial.
Hey.
I'll run us over.
Oops. It's all good.
All right, that was a commercial break we almost missed all of. We had a caller call in, catch me off guard. But one thing we wanted to talk about, liberal media, guys and gals. Okay, we have been trying to tell you guys it's been hooked together forever. Okay, and I didn't print this up, so I'm not sure exactly, but I'm going to give you a rundown, and I'll just run over it real quick. This is how the media.
This is what popped up on my.
Cook Hillary welcomes father of Orlando. That was a mess. The terrorist showing up at the thing. But ABC News President Ben Sherwood, who is the brother of Elizabeth Sherwood Randall, a top national security advisor to who? President Obama.
Yep.
His counterpart at CBS, News Division President David Rhodes, is the brother of Benjamin Rhodes. What is he? A key foreign policy specialist. CNN's deputy Washington bureau chief, Virginia Mosley, is married to Tom Needus, who until earlier this year was deputy secretary of state under who? Hillary Rodham Clinton. Yeah, you guys starting to see some link ups here. White House press secretary Jay Carney's wife is Claire Shipman, a veteran reporter for ABC. NPR's White House correspondent Ari Shapiro is married to a lawyer, Michael Gottlieb, something like that, who joined the White House counsel office in April. Okay, this goes on for pages. You guys out there on YouTube world, you can see when we talk about liberal media, they are, when we say in bed together, we mean literally in bed together. Okay, so pay attention to where you get your news. It's like we said earlier, source that stuff, guys. Don't count on anybody, whether it's me or, even Fox News. I mean, and I say even that because that's what I watch. Generally speaking. But we have a whopping 19 minutes to go, boys and girls. And that'll push us over just a touch. Go ahead. What do you got, Tim?
Oh, nothing. You said 19. I said,
yeah. I told him we were going to go over a little bit if we had to. We had a caller. We had a special guest, and I appreciate Alan calling in. But you got some news media, so go ahead and roll with it, big guy.
I didn't get anything. I got what you needed.
Are you serious?
That's what I ended up getting. And let me tell you something. You told me we were gonna be late tonight. We had Alan coming on.
Yeah, we did.
So I made sure I was here. I had a bunch of work to do today, and I worked till almost
I got
10
you beat, man. I drove in from Dora, Alabama.
Let me tell you something. I worked till almost 10 o'clock last night so I could get off early enough today to be here. I don't want to hear it.
You was doing the honeydew list trying to get off early so you could be here. No.
I was actually at work.
All right, here's a quote that I posted on my personal page. I'm going to share with you guys. Actually not politically related, okay? Real simple. I encourage all you guys, and I tell people, go out and do something good for somebody every day, and I mean that. I know the show is Angry American Radio, and it is sarcasm in there, and we're on just for fun radio. Why, boys and girls? Because it's just for fun. And yeah, we do get wrapped up in life, but you know what? You were born an original. Don't live and die a copy. Okay. I posted that this morning, and I had a lot of people really appreciate that, because it is, you're an original out there, whether you're into politics, guns, or what have you. You've heard from a couple of people that carrying guns, where to carry, not to carry. First and foremost, regardless of what state, city, country, county, whatever you're at, make sure you check your county codes first and foremost. There's no hesitation about that. We are in the great state of Georgia, the Peach State. So I don't know where you guys are listening at. Hopefully, we got a few listeners past the boundaries of the state line. I hope. I know we do in Virginia anyway. So we've got that. But make sure you do check. And as I said before, carry everywhere, okay? But you need to be safe and proficient. The only way you're going to be able to do that is what? 3 things. Train, train, and train, okay? That's what it takes. There's tons of videos out there on YouTube. I'm not telling you to go to YouTube for training. I'm telling you to go see a firearms instructor, okay? One that has qualifications. And guys, you can do, I mean, we train everything from basic soccer mom pistols and handguns to long guns to shotguns to inside the home protection, outside the home protection. And we do some carbine classes, and we have a lot of fun. Running and gunning should be fun, but it should be proficient. If your training is not proficient to what you're doing, i.e. protecting yourself, you're wasting your time. What are you doing when you're shooting paper?
Wasting your time.
Unless you're sighting in a rifle, you're wasting your time and money. I mean, when we went and qualified, I mean, we shot no more than we had to at paper.
Nope.
I mean, that was it. How many rounds are you supposed to shoot? 30? Okay, we got 30. 50? Okay, we got 50. Because we know that when we go train, it needs to be relative to what we are doing. If your training is not relative to what you're doing, and if you're a police officer, for example, hopefully you're getting more than the minimum required training. Unfortunately,
most of them don't, believe it or not.
No, I do. I know it, and it's unfortunate, but it's a time thing. It's just like us with our jobs. If you're a heating and air guy, you know, unless your heating and air is completely broke, if it's limping along, you're probably going to let it limp along. If you're a car guy and your car is limping along, you're probably not going to fix it because you're tired of dealing with it. You know, I mean, that's the nature of the beast. But when it comes to taking care of your family, there is nothing more important than taking care of them. You got to take care of them, because if you don't, you're not going to have them there to worry about feeding them. So that kind of goes hand in hand, or hand to mouth, however you want to put it. I could come up with an acronym, a training slogan for that, couldn't we? We could come. No, nothing.
You can try.
We could try. We probably wouldn't get anywhere. Daggum. All right. Well,
you noticed I said you could try.
Yeah,
I'll not even try.
I think you put that on me. That went back to the morning show's Tap That App conversation this morning. But hey, and if you guys haven't checked out the morning show, do so. Check them out. The guys just do all kind of crazy stuff. But politics we've touched on. Hillary, you know, I mean, you could have a show every single day for as many hours a day as you wanted to and talk about lies on her.
They do it every day.
I don't understand how people can stand behind her. But if we're looking at the real clock, we got a couple of minutes. And since we ran behind a little bit, I do have some fun facts. Fun facts, not just for the ladies, but, you know, we like to drift off subject every now and then. And, you know, they say a gun is all about a man's penis size and his ego and all that. That's so I'm in trouble because mine's compact, man. And I'll just say my gun, you know, one's for fight and one's for fun. But they both work, you know. And speaking of size, does size matter? The ladies always, does size matter? Experience tells us no. Some women would tend to disagree with that. But that brings you to the thought, everybody is curious, what is the smallest personal gun out there? The smallest tool of engagement, as you will. Thank God I am not this guy. This is a world record I did not set, but one of the records out there, a whopping, get ready for this, no drum roll needed because the drumsticks are way too long, 0.39 inches. And I'm going to say, I hope that's on a limp day. I hope he's limping along. I hope it's a bad day. On the other end of the spectrum, though, the ladies want to know, what's the world's largest? What do you think? Give it a guess.
I had no idea.
Come on, throw us a guess out there. Oh, man. Oh, I got a message here. Hold on. Let me see if it's a guess before I give the answer out. Hold on. It's harder to pull up on the. Hold on. Let me see if you said anything. Oh, John Land rolling across Nebraska. So we got somebody all the way out in Nebraska. Glad to have you listening, John. All right. You're not going to take a guess. You're scared. Say you're scared. I'm not quite there yet.
Me either. That's why I'm not guessing.
13.5 inches. That's a long gun right there. That's a long gun. Okay. All right, I always say this wrong. And if you guys haven't noticed, my pronunciation spelling is probably not the best out there. So I've heard it actually pronounced by professionals, Kegels and Kegels. If you don't know what those are, look them up. Okay, I'm not going to get that graphic on the show. It's just got a lot of squeeze pressure down below. What do you think the heaviest weight from a woman could do with her Kegels? Or Kegels for you out there from Dutchland or wherever. Kegel or Kegel?
Oh, I don't know.
I can give it to you in pounds and kilograms. Which way would you prefer to hear it?
Well, you got it on paper. I don't.
Let me go with 31 pounds.
Oh, my God.
Let me tell you what. She needs to hook up with a guy that's 0.39 inches long. I'm just going to say maybe their guns can get some friction going there.
Grab a hold and stretch.
Yeah, I mean, hold on. Well, I guess she could hold on tight, but 0.39, ooh, Lord have mercy. All right, guys. This is for the guys out there. And we've seen some big ones. And I think you know what I'm talking about when I say big ones. And they get carried in those over-the-shoulder boulder holders. You know what I'm talking about?
Double barrel slingshot.
Double barrel slingshots. Yep. What do you think the largest pair of knockers is?
Size-wise?
Size-wise. Yeah, like double D.
Double F. I don't know.
Man, 102 triple Z.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
That's way too big. That's like elephant gargantua. That's like past pleasure zone. That's too much. I'm going to tell you, ladies, don't do that to yourself.
That is like lay on your back.
I don't know men that can appreciate that.
That's like lay on your back and can't breathe.
No, but you've seen those women. They're like, they sit down. Yeah, they're on their kneecaps. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, everybody's got, it's like the crazy chick, the Catwoman chick with all the freaking, constructive surgery stuff,
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, people get hooked on crack, and she's, I guess, hooked on crack in her face. I don't know, man. It's weird.
One thing about it, she go camping, she never forgets her pillows.
Man, that's got to be a miserable life. Man. Now, that's the world's largest natural breast.
Oh, natural.
Now, surgically enhanced. And this is okay. Besides the fact it's a backache, a 42M is a U.S. size. Again, I have no idea. I know once you get past D's, I mean, and E's, I mean, wow, that's too much. Here's a funny one for you. Actually, this is way higher than the one that I had previously heard. Most sexual partners in a 24-hour period. Dr. Love, sharing some knowledge with you. Most sexual partners, 24 hours. Come on with it.
It all depends on how quick they were.
All right, I'll tell you how quick they are. 94 seconds per guy.
Oh, my God.
I don't know how they accumulate. I don't know what they did with that. I don't know how they calculated that. It must have been a, say hi and bye, 919 guys. Oh, she had a long, hard walk. Well, I guess she didn't walk home. She probably didn't walk for days. All right, last one in the crazy Guinness Book World Records of Sex. All you romantics out there. What's the world's longest kiss? And I don't even believe this. Some of this stuff is ridiculous, man.
I don't know. They're probably going to say days.
No. Well, it actually works out to be days. It's ridiculous. It was a Valentine's Day kiss-a-thon, okay? And it was a Thai couple. So they probably, I don't know. But 58 hours, 35 minutes, and 58 seconds.
Over 2 days.
Really? All the other stuff was just statistical crap. You're going to kiss somebody? I mean, how do you do that? You're just stuck together.
You have no life. That's how you do it.
You're stuck together.
No life.
Ladies and gentlemen, guess what? That's the Angry American Show. That's a wrap. Unless you got something you want to throw out there.
No, I'm good.
I think. Oh, hold on, we got one more ding here. Let me see. Nope. He said, "Never mind. I'm not even gonna worry about that." Oh my gosh! All right, make sure that you check out all our shows. No doubt about it, guys and gals. The morning show is gas in the morning. That's how I start my days off, is watching you guys. It's always good. check out the Rough Edge, which is a rock show, which is Hump Day. And then Steph does a show for the ladies. I'm not sure the name of it. I apologize, Steph. Thursday. And then we got Military Mike on Monday. And the morning show, Monday through Friday. That's it, guys. Angry American Highway Jack, Tim Tenney. We're out of here. You look like you got something to say. Last chance to dance. He's stuck. He is a loss for words. First time I've seen it, boys and girls. Thanks so much for tuning in. Highway Jack is out of here. God bless you, and God bless America, baby.